I just, from my personal heart, want to say about Wayne, I met him years ago, and he is like a, a soul brother. He has gone through so much with his own beautiful wife, Sherry. And so he knows not only is it such a huge impact on the person that's struggling, but also the caregivers too. And Wayne, what you do for your love, for your wife, and for so many different people out there with invisible disabilities, I just cannot thank you enough. You are a man with passion, a man that will not give up when someone says no. You're going to make it happen, and you're doing it for so many people worldwide. So thank you so much. Again, it's the IDA founder and the president and CEO, Wayne Connell.
Oh, thanks so much, Denise. You know, it is amazing. It's hard to believe we're actually going into our 26th year in January, which is amazing. I've done this as a volunteer the whole time, and thrilled to also have Jess behind the scenes doing this instead of me doing it, which is, you know, a lot of times that's what I've done for a lot of the years. But we're thrilled to have you tonight. And I wanted to just share with everybody a little bit about what's going on in invisible disabilities and give you some background here, some of the things that's going on this year. So we put on our Love Ideas Summit. Many of you may have attended that back in November, called Exploring the Heart of Relationships. That was 6 incredible days online and on demand in November. We had 10 headline presentations, but the likes of, you know, on relationships, John Gray, you know, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. Gary Chapman, the author of The 5 Love Languages. Greg Godek, who wrote 1,001 Ways to Be Romantic. You know, we had 6 roundtables, caregiving and veterans and business and parents, grandparents, unbelievable stuff. We had some special guest speakers, including Ali Webb, who founded Dry Bar. Many of you may know who Ali Webb is. Broadcast journalist and entrepreneur Lindsay McCormick, and neurohumorist Karen Buxman. We had subjects of chronic illness and humor and servant leadership with Omar Harris, addiction and suicide. These are all about relationships, because we know in this time, this year, we needed help with the relationships across the board. So stay tuned, because we had over 1,000 people join us that week online, but stay tuned, because we're going to start rolling out those presentations here in 2021 if you didn't get to attend back in November. So I want to tell you about the next thing. It's our National Disability ID program. You know, we launched the National Disability ID program back in 2017. But basically, we're pursuing legislation in every state that would allow for the disclosure on government IDs for anyone with a disability, illness, or chronic pain, a personal little symbol. That would be the IDA logo. No personal information stored on the driver's license or the ID, but the symbol provides a recognition and the need for possible accommodations. You know, we all need help sometimes, and it's that interaction sometimes with whoever's looking at that license that needs to see that symbol. You know, Alaska was the first state to pass this back in 2017. We're working directly with legislators in Alabama, Colorado, New York, Pennsylvania, Utah, and more across the nation to advance this initiative. You know, and we want your help. So check out IDA's website. Make sure you go to invisibledisabilities.org. You can find all this information there. We couldn't launch this initiative without the great support of our interns. We've had fabulous interns. We're looking for some new interns. But let's watch a video from CBS 4 here in Denver from one of our amazing interns.
A Colorado teenager is working with a state lawmaker to improve police interactions with people who have disabilities that can't be seen. They're called invisible disabilities, and they can really complicate situations when police arrive. The proposed solution, a symbol on the person's driver's license. Sean Boyd joining us tonight. And Sean, sounds like a great idea.
Yeah, Jim, you know, when someone is in a wheelchair, no one questions whether they deserve a parking spot like this. But if someone parks here and walks even a short distance on their own, we question what we can't see. Could be multiple sclerosis, chronic pain, invisible disabilities. And when police can't see a disability, whether it's ADHD, schizophrenia, autism, OCD, it can be tragic. A Littleton teenager hopes to change that. Most of her life, Rebecca Zickerman wouldn't talk about her disability, let alone give a speech about it. That all changed last year when she disclosed in speech and debate class that she had cerebral palsy, which affects her motor skills.
Really fortunate to have such a mild case, but that also means that it is invisible, so people don't know about it. And on a daily basis, I do have to kind of deal with the repercussions of that.
The speech was the beginning of an extraordinary effort by the teenager who convinced a state lawmaker to carry a bill creating a license that has a special ID symbol for people with invisible disabilities.
I think she's very courageous.
For Representative Daphne Michelson-Janae, it was an easy sell. Her son has autism.
If police officers were to put arms on him, he would respond in a way that really reminded me of the way Elijah McClain responded.
This symbol on a person's license, she says, would alert an officer that there may be a reason a person can't make eye contact, for example, or walk a straight line. The bill also calls for training of officers, which Jess Stainbrook with the Invisible Disabilities Association says is key.
So if I whip out this card and you don't know what this symbol means, what good is it, right? And so we really have been trying to undertake the process of creating what I would call a certification.
Imagine being able to communicate that before a tragedy occurs.
So to be able to know that I'm not alone, but that I can help other people has been a really amazing experience.
Now, Alaska is the only state so far to pass a similar bill into law. If the legislation here passes, a person could voluntarily get that symbol put on their license with a doctor's note. It is estimated 1 in 10 people have some kind of invisible disability. Live in Lafayette, Sean Boyd covering Colorado First.
Wow, we just love Rebecca and our interns. What an amazing story. And thank you so much, CBS, for putting that together. So in the meantime, what do you do with all this legislation that's taking place? You know, it takes a while to get through the legislation. So we launched the Disability ID card, available in the U.S. and international. You can get it at the IDA website. It's got the IDA logo, and the IDA logo is becoming the universal symbol for disability. Our goal is that it will be recognized by first responders, medical personnel, retail establishments, transportation companies and facilities, educational institutions, hospitals, accommodations, your friends, family, coworkers, the public at large. They would recognize this ID card. You know, this is the ID card. You know, it's a real simple ID card. It's got a picture on the back. It's got a talks about that you might need an accommodation. It's got on the back where you've got emergency contact. Our goal is that if you walked into a store and you wear this around your neck, that maybe the first person in the store, because they've been trained, we want to provide that training. They've been trained. They would come up and say, how can I help? That's our ultimate goal. How can you be helped? You don't have to explain to somebody why you have a disability, why you need help. You don't have to track down a manager. That's our goal. You know, it doesn't matter if you're riding on a bus and you need a place to be able to sit down. That's what this identification card's all about. So I want to tell you about some other things we're working on. You know, obviously most of us spent the last year almost indoors, right, in quarantine. And so we were trying to figure out a way that we could make a difference in the lives of and continue to produce incredible content. So what we did is we launched what was called the Invisible Encourage Show. It was a live podcast. We actually have 38 episodes right now that are in place. Kelly Pokrivka, who's one of our board members, and myself were the hosts of these. They were 2 to 3 days a week. Really think about it. The reason why it's not encourage, encourage, but it's I encourage, because in the midst of difficult times, you need courage. And so what we want to do is focus on knowledgeable experts, real stories, and amazing courage. Stay tuned in 2021. We hope to relaunch the Invisible Encourage. You can also go see all the episodes on our website. Now, what else are we doing? But you look good. You know, that's that question that Denise was talking about earlier. Everybody's always asking this. This is why my wife and I wrote a book back in 1998. We've got 35,000 of these copies in print around the world. It's a way to encourage and understand people living with illness and pain. People always ask us, what do I say? I don't know what to say. We help them say and what not to say. So make sure you get the copy of the book. What's exciting is it's on Kindle. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it on the website. You can also get it in the auction, an autograph copy. But really, the book is about helping you to make it through. Buy multiple copies. Give them to your doctors. Give them to your friends and family. A lot of people do that. You know, the final thing is that we're doing is that we're being asked all the time to speak about disability speaking and consulting. You know, we're experts in disabilities. Think about it. We coined the phrase, my wife coined the phrase invisible disabilities back in 1996 is when we launched the organization. And we've been spreading the word about the invisible nature of illness and how people can interact with people when they can't see it. And we've become experts in the business marketplace as well, talking to diversity and disability groups and employee resource groups. And so Jess and I spent a lot of time doing speaking and consulting for companies. And that's something that we're available to do. For example, with Arcadis and Dish, we're working right now. This year, we also spoke with the students at Bradley University. So we speak at universities. We've spoken in the past at GlaxoSmithKline and many other organizations. So that's a great thing that you can do. You can come in and you can invite us to be part of it, and we'll help you understand when you can't see the disability, but you want to help the person, and how you can interact when you don't know how to do it in a business place. So we're so excited.